So the panel's kind of talked a little bit about this, but in front, and they kind of hinted on this. So in the Jonathan Franzen grievance, for the New Yorker, he writes further away. He says that this guy was depressed, but he was also pulling a Kurt Cobain, which is what you said in the panel during the discussion. The question is, what do you make of the suicide from a very smart, very sensitive man? And you were just talking about his practicality and his purposes.
So the question is,
Was he pulling a Kurt Cobain where he knew that
That's
he'd
exactly
be
right.
immortalized by the suicide would seal his...
I think when anyone writes about, anyone who's close to someone who kills themselves writes about it relatively soon after. There's going to be a lot of anger, and it's going to be quite unprocessed, and that anger is going to come through even in the most compassionate piece. And the way I thought about it, what was helpful for me at the time when it happened was actually talking to another writer who's suffered his whole life with depression, who said this is, it's not, because the way it happened and all of that, it felt very aggressive towards David's wife and so on, who had to find him. And so this other writer said it's not that you wake up one day and you say, I'm going to kill myself today. It's that you wake up every single day saying, how can I not? And just switching that around made it clear enough to me anyway that this was not an act of career advancement. This was not about getting more fans and creating a legend. This was about mental illness.
I mean, he couldn't write anymore for whatever set of reasons. And if he can't write, marriage, being someone's son, being someone's brother.
Do some charity work.
Well, I'm not judging him. I'm just saying for him that ceased, that wasn't enough Velcro to keep him on the planet. So he couldn't write anymore. The Federer piece was the last time that his ass left the chair, as he used to put it, that the writing was so inspired that he no longer felt, his butt in a chair as he wrote. It was transcendent. And then it's sort of, the UFO stopped coming. He could no longer see this thing arrive that changed everything. So he couldn't write, and he couldn't find another reason to stick around. And of course, people who were close to him would say, what about this reason? What about this reason? What about the people who personally care about you? And it just didn't end up being enough.
Next question over there.
Hi. I guess, why do you think